All right, guys, and welcome to this call. I want to know who is excited about this call. Guys, this is like, first of all, let me tell you, this is something that we don't really like do every single day. This is actually the first call that Nick and I do. So this is like very, very, very special. So guys, if you are ready to get the value of somebody who really built his empire literally from absolutely nothing, like he came from broke as a joke. We always run like laugh about these things because literally, guys, like when I met this guy, I was like, he looked like a guy that I was like, he had everything in his life, rich parents, whatever. And when I actually got to know the guy, he actually told me his story. He actually has a very, very impressive story, guys. This guy literally came from nothing. And today we're going to share a lot of value for all of those that really want to learn how to launch a business. Guys, for a lot of us, we, come from different companies, maybe from other industries, and we're pioneering here together with this project, right? So the important thing that you guys need to know about this call is that we are launching this together, guys. We are launching as a family. And I really thought, this training is perfect because, the moment where we are right now, the time where we are right now is really crucial because I've seen this guy work so freaking hard for what he has today. Obviously, right now, he's very, very successful, but it wasn't always like this. And I feel like a lot of people in this call here right now are really looking, for that next opportunity, which is this what we have today. But how to launch your business properly, like what is it that I need to do in order to, for me to connect with my inner self, like to make this, the most successful business or the most successful project of my life. And I feel that, one day I was like, here, a lot of people pay a lot of money to hear Nick talk. And I was over here in one of his trainings one day with like some of the people that hires him, and I heard him talk and like give this training to another group of people. And I said, you know what? This is exactly what my team needs to hear, especially for the moment where we are right now, which is super crucial. And I would honestly, appreciate if you give this training to these guys, because I feel like you guys all need to hear it. And, it is really my pleasure to really, put Nick at your disposition today. And if you guys, want to absorb all of the value from Nick, I really suggest that you take a pen on paper and really take notes, because this is an 8-figure entrepreneur. Like, guys, like again, he had nothing like a couple of years ago. Today he earns multiple 8-figures, and he's gonna give you the tips and the tricks, and he's gonna give you the juice on how he was able to do it. So if you guys are planning on doing this with this new project, you better learn from mentors like Nick. Okay, so having said that, Nick, take it away.
All right. Alejandra, thank you so much for the amazing intro. She's putting me to work tonight. I'm here in Panama City, Panama. We're out here relaxing on the back deck. And, I've been semi-retired for the last couple of years, so it's rare that I'll get on and do these kind of things. But, for Alejandra, his family, and you guys have an amazing product, an amazing company. So I'm just honored and excited to be with you guys tonight. So my goal is, to provide you the maximum amount of value in the shortest amount of time. Alejandro let me know you guys are all in launch mode right now. And what does it take to launch a successful business? Because success leaves clues. So I'm not going to get into a long-winded, rags to riches sob story. You can go and watch videos of me on YouTube if you want to see that. But what I am going to do is I'm going to give you a little context to, where I am now, where I came from, and then we're going to tie that together at the end. And I'm going to find your deepest purpose and what drives you, why you are actually here on this call at 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 6 o'clock, what's putting you here. I'm going to get to the bottom of it tonight, and you're going to use that fuel for the rest of your life. For the rest of your career, you'll be able to get value out of this training, no matter if it's with, this, fitness, any aspect of your life, you're going to be able to learn from this. So, my story, I grew up in Northern Virginia, right outside of Washington, D.C. Family was a divorced family. My stepfather was in the CIA, and I lived in kind of like a middle-class home until high school. And then I went to go live with my dad. My dad was a landscaper, could barely make ends meet. We lived in a 1-bedroom apartment. I slept on the couch. I got to the point that it was like we didn't have food in the fridge. So it was like I had to figure out a way to make money. I was not, happy about my circumstance. I lived in a suburb, so all my friends were rolling up to school in, nice clothes. They had new cars from their parents, and I'm sitting here broke, and I couldn't, figure out what I was doing wrong. So as a teenager, what I started doing, I started selling drugs. I was working, at the Dollar Tree. I was doing whatever I could to make ends meet, and it got me nowhere. It got me in a lot of trouble, got me on house arrest, basically put me in a huge bind, got myself in a lot of trouble as an adolescent, dropped out of high school, and was basically left with no direction and had to figure out what I'm going to do. I was always searching for greatness, but it was like always the elusive thing. I could never figure out, how am I going to go from here to the top? It was like, I'm stuck in this, small town with, people that are on drugs. It's a big heroin epidemic town. I can't figure out, what job I should take. Should I join should I get a government job? It was all these answers. And I just wanted to figure out, how can I become rich? It's my number one goal in life. So, I was always kind of into fitness. I took a job as a personal trainer. My mom basically was like, hey, you're cut off. You drop out of school, you're done. So I was out on my own. I lived in the back of my car. I was a personal trainer. I was showering in the gyms, basically, training clients all day, but I didn't have enough money to, even afford a place to rent. So I finally got rolling with some clients. I was able to save up enough money for a place to rent. I started doing well as a personal trainer. I started really excelling. I had a full book of business, and I'm working 80 hours a week as a personal trainer, and, waking up at 5 a.m., training clients until 9 p.m. And I'm still broke. And all my clients are coming in and they're pulling up in Bentleys, and they're telling me about the vacation they just took their family onto the Maldives. And I'm like, I have a broken operating system here. There's something wrong with what I'm doing. So, like I said, success leaves clues. I asked all the clients they became my first mentors, my wealthy clients. I said, what do you do for a living? What do you do for a living? They own a business. That was the common theme among all of them. None of them were W-2, 9-to-5, 401k, people. These are all wealthy business owners. They were either in, some sort of sales or marketing business. They own real estate companies. And I was like, well, I really need to get into learning these principles of becoming a good entrepreneur. So that was my first real exposure and eye-opening to, getting into business. So you guys are in the right place right now. You're starting a business. And, if you're in your 9-to-5 job, just know that it's a stepping stone, because that was not my last 9-to-5 job. It's not like my clients told me to go do real estate and I just one day picked up and, became the top wholesaler in the world. I took the little bit of money I had saved from being a personal trainer, and I wanted to get out of my hometown so desperately, because it just sucked there. It was Northern Virginia. Traffic sucks. Weather sucks. It's just a horrible place to live. So I moved to Austin, Texas, with in the back of a Mazda 3. I had a air mattress, and I had a bag of clothes and a laptop and a phone. And I was like, all right, this is a new journey. I had no job, no connections. So I did, probably what a lot of you guys did, is you're looking for a way. How am I going to, get to the next level? How am I going to level myself up? I came across real estate wholesaling, network marketing. A lot of my top wealthiest friends are in network marketing. So you guys are in a phenomenal vehicle to just exponentially, excel your life. And there's so many parallels between what I do and what you guys do. So, be putting the dots together on how your life can take value from how I came up. So started from nothing. I'm basically YouTubing real estate wholesaling, but I'm burning a hole in my pocket, trying to pay rent, in this new place in Austin. I'm about to get evicted from my apartment. And I was like, I got to do something, because I can't fund my business while I've only got like a couple grand in the bank. It's not possible. Right. So I ended up getting a sales job, and I got a sales job. Anybody familiar with Indeed.com? It's like where you go look for jobs. So Indeed's headquartered in Austin. I got a sales job banging the phones. It's kind of like Wolf of Wall Street over there. You're talking to big employers, getting them to pay for the sponsored job ads. And I was so hungry to make my real estate wholesaling journey work. I was like, first of all, I don't want to go get a job, but I'm forced to get a job. So if you can't get out of it, get into it. I was like, the faster I can get in here and crush it in this 9-to-5 job, the faster I can get out and become a self-sustaining entrepreneur. So I was like, screw it. I'm going in, and I just went in guns blazing. So I went from like, being $800 short of my rent to Top Gun Rookie of the Year at Indeed.com, just because I had that just tenacious drive to not want to just stay laying down and, stay in this position. At this time, I was 24 years old. I'm like, I need to step it up. So, I took all the money that I had from my commissions and I would take it and I would put it into my real estate business. But it wasn't just about the money. I literally, for those first 2.5, 3 years, it was every day. Like Jake Paul says, like, how do you get successful? It's every day, man. So that's what I did. Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, I was at Indeed. And then I'd get home, I'd kiss the dog. And then from 6 until I passed out, like I could barely hold my eyes open, I'm doing real estate wholesaling, which would be the same as you guys, doing your network marketing. And that was my Shawshank redemption to get myself out of my 9 to 5 job, is I just put in the hours. There's no way of getting around it. I literally, worked all weekend. I didn't take vacations for this first couple of years. And because I made that sacrifice for, those 2 years, I came out on the other side of that, was able to go from, my corporate job, I was making $250,000 a year at the height of it. I exceeded that with real estate wholesaling, and I was able to leave and go full-time into, I was able to leave to go full-time into my business. And so that's what accelerated my career. That was back in 2016. I left my full-time job. And then from there, it was 7 figures, and I continued to grow beyond that point. So it's been a ride. And now I'm at the point that I grew my business in Austin. I've got it to where it's self-sustaining. I got people in place. I've got people under me. So now I've been able to travel. I travel the world. I live down in Central America now, and I, just enjoy really the fruits of my labor. I still work, because to retire is to expire. So I'm always up to something. I'm always trying new things. I'm always trying to, level up, but I'm not in that survival mode anymore. But I will tell you right now, 90% of people that start a business, I think it's even higher, are not going to make it. So you guys got to look at yourself right now. You're going to be that 5-10% that makes it. And I'm going to tell you a few things that are going to hurt, or are probably going to hurt some feelings, right? It's going to take, an extreme amount of dedication. Everybody, looks at the finished product on Instagram. Oh, I'm here right now in my penthouse, whatever. It's not like that. Like it's not a glamorous process every single day. Like you're going to have to go through the challenges. You're going to have to really, say, I'm going to dedicate a couple years to this. Things don't happen overnight. Everything is harder than you think it's going to be, and it always takes longer than you think it's going to take. So I know I'm not rah-rahing you guys, but I'm telling you the real, truths about entrepreneurship, and the ones that make it and the ones that don't. If you guys think like, hey, this is just going to be like, I'm going to make a few sales, get some people under me, and then I'm going to be chilling on a beach. Like, this is the real world. This is not some get rich quick scheme. This is not the lottery. This is real entrepreneurship. So, I want to keep it 100% transparent that it was not an easy process for me. I overcame so many obstacles and so many things, which brings me to my next point is, how did I become that 5 to 10%? Because it is a thing. It's not some esoterical thing. It's not like I have like some superpower. And a lot of the people that you're mentoring with are in the same position I am. And they could say, hey, I'm just a normal guy, or I'm just a normal gal, right? It's not like we have some superpower, but I'm going to bring you through the exercise right now that these guys have been through many times. And whether they know it consciously or unconsciously, this is what has got us to where we are. Because I'm going to hit you on another point that's, going to hurt, right? Hard work alone does not get the job done. If that was the truth, then coal miners and, ditch diggers would be the richest people in the world. And having knowledge, just being smart and having a ton of knowledge, is not going to get you rich either. If that was the case, college professors would be the richest people in the world, right? So what is the it factor, which is what we're going to get to tonight. And I'm going to break it down for you. I'm going to go you through this exercise, and then you guys are going to go through this exercise as well. And it's going to hopefully change your life completely and put you in a position where you're just able to dominate anything that comes into your life, whether it be business, personal, fitness, whatever. So without further ado, I'm gonna walk you guys through it. It's called the why exercise. Has anybody here ever done the why exercise on this call? All right. So let's just talk about it. So I know this is an eye chart. I don't expect you guys to read it. I just want you to look at it for reference. But whenever we do anything, I don't care if it's I want to get six-pack abs, I want to make a ton of money. There's always a reason behind it. So, let's just take my story, for example, and then you can relate it back to yours. So it was like, in the beginning of my story, why did I even venture down and decide I want to do real estate? Right? Well, because I want to make money and I want to own my own business. Right? Pretty simple. That's a pretty, surface level example, but you always have to ask deeper questions. So this exercise is called the 7 levels of why. So they've studied this in universities. Tony Robbins does this. And it's not until you get to the 7th why that you find what your true actual burning desire and what the core of your essence on why you do anything is. So for me, that first level of why was, I want to make money and I want to own my own business. Well, why do I want to make money and own my own business? Because I want to live life on my own terms, right? Well, why do I want to live life on my own terms? Because I don't like taking shit from anybody, quite frankly. And so why don't I like that? Because I took shit and watched my family struggle my entire life. Well, why did I take shit, from bosses, employers, from teachers, from, everybody? And why did I watch my family struggle like that? The 5th reason, because I didn't know a better way. Well, why didn't I know a better way? Because I was always around losers and, 9 to 5 employees, and it caused me a lot of suffering. Well, why was I around, losers and people that caused me a lot of suffering? Because I was born into that kind of environment, and I was determined to change so I don't have to feel that pain anymore. And I'm, the bottom line and the crux of it is, I am not going to be a broke loser who doesn't have control of my life, and I don't have to take shit from others. So that has always driven me. It's like, I'm going to do what I want, when I want, whenever I want. And that when I say that, it gets me fired up inside. Like, I'll run through a brick wall with that. I'm not gonna, I don't care how hard the obstacle is, no matter what, when I sit there and I'm like, man, I don't want to send out that email. I don't want to send out that invite for this call. I don't want to go and, talk to this person. I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to be a broke loser who has to take shit from anybody. So I'm going to do those things at the end of the day. So that right there is an exercise that I can tell you, it's a 5-minute exercise that you're going to do tonight. And before you go to bed, I want you to knock this exercise out. And then whatever that 7th why is, I want you to write it in your phone. You're going to write it in your phone, on your notes pad, wherever. And then I also want you to write it on a sticky or wherever and put it right on your bathroom mirror. Bathroom mirror, put it in your car, somewhere. So when you're sitting there and you're just having a tough time mentally, well, hey, if I don't do this, this is why I'm doing it. This is why I'm doing it. Because I think a lot of people get caught up in this surface level stuff. I'm doing it because I want to have a business. I'm doing it for my kids. No, you're not. Like, it's a lot deeper than that. You're not doing it for your family. You're not doing it for your kids. It's deeper than all of that stuff. But you have to sit down with yourself and get real with yourself and find out those deep reasons, because those deep reasons are what's going to make you successful. That's what's going to make you take the disciplined action day in to day and day out for a prolonged period of time, which is what it takes to get to where you want to be. It's going to make you go talk to that person that you don't want to talk to in network marketing because they're so high up on a pedestal and you're scared to death, but you're like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm calling them right now. I'm going to send them a DM. This is where the fire comes from. And that fire breeds the discipline to be able to get to where you want to be. So that's pretty much it to really put a button on it. We can open it up for Q&A, but that was the crux of the issue. I want to get everybody to do that exercise before the end of the night. I think it's going to provide a lot of value and keep everybody aligned with the mission and get you guys to where you want to go as fast as possible.
Thank you, Nick. Wow, that was absolutely amazing. And I want everybody to drop a 7 in the chat for Nick. I definitely want to, open, the chat for a couple of questions. A lot of us are, launching the business right now. And I'm pretty sure you guys might have some questions, guys. It's not like we always like do these things. Like I said, this is a very special occasion. I have never brought Nick on a call like ever. So guys, this is like the moment where you can maybe unmute yourself or just write your questions on the chat. But I really want you guys to take this moment to ask Nick a question so you can blow up your business exponentially in the next couple of weeks. Don't be shy.
Nick, what's going on, man? I appreciate you hopping on the call here.
Give me to it, Sal.
You can go first.
Yeah, I'll go after. Go ahead.
I just wanted to, I think something that a lot of people run into is overcoming, like, when someone tells them no, or being persistent. How did you react when someone would just, I'm from the Northeast too, and I can hear it in your voice, man. Like, I was like, all right, he's one of us, one of us. So how did you handle, objections, and like when people are constantly telling you no and shutting the door in your face? Now I see obviously the why has got the fire in you. But how do you feel? And then, when you're just down and out, and we've been there before, and new people get discouraged and whatnot when they're doing something like that.
Yeah. In the beginning, it was really, really testing for me. So when I first started in real estate, I was getting told no constantly because I didn't have enough product knowledge. I didn't know how to overcome objections. And so in real estate, you have to drive to houses, and I would drive an hour to a house here and there, sit down on people's kitchen table, try to get them to sell me their house for 50 cents on the dollar. And they'd be slamming the door in front of me. And I ended up getting told no 104 times before I got my first deal. And this is in the Texas heat. I had no AC in my car. I'm driving all over Texas, trying to get people to sell me their house, and everybody's telling me, no, kid, get off my lawn. And so how did I get past it? I remember one day, I was just beat up, and I got to the point that, I'm probably like on appointment 75, and I start getting all those self-limiting beliefs, all those doubts coming into my mind. Like, hey, maybe this is not cut out for me. Maybe it's just not my personality type is not best suited to do this. Maybe, there's something wrong with me, or I just need to go do something else. And I just remember sitting there, and I remembered how much time I put into, coming on, Zooms like this, and all the hours of YouTube, and the handwriting yellow letters on my kitchen table. And I just remember, like, I had a second where I thought about quitting. I thought to myself, I did not come this far to only come this far. And if another man can do it, then so can I. So there's only two options at this point. Either I'm going to be successful and make this work, or I'm going to die. Like, I just burn the ships, as Tony Robbins would say, right? So I just burn the ships, which is what you have to do in your mind. And it's savage, but that's what it takes to be successful.
I love that. Yeah, that's great. I wanted to touch on, it was one of the last things you said that I always believed in too. And that's, when you see somebody and you want to reach out to them, but like you're scared, or you're like, what, I don't want to embarrass myself, or I'm not of that caliber yet to reach out and talk to that person. Like, I'm a nobody, or I'm, not good enough. And you're worried a little bit, because that's something we all go through, whether it's like at the gym and talking to somebody who has the results you want to see, and rather than going up and asking them, you're shy. Or in business like this, in our scenario, somebody who's making $100,000, $200,000, $500,000 a month, and you are just getting started making 100, 500, maybe no money at all. I always believed in, if you want to see those results, you got to go directly to the source of the people who have the results. And it can be uncomfortable. But in everyone on this call situation, like, reach out to the biggest person you possibly can. Reach out directly to Hassan, reach out directly to Jose, reach out directly to Sal, myself, Alejandra, because we're looking for those people who are you know, they want to prove themselves. They're like, you know what, I'm here, I'm willing to work, I want to make this work for me, and I'm letting you know that, you know, I'm here, like that I want to prove myself. So we love getting messages like that from people, because, you know, they always say you find a diamond in the rough. Like, it's somebody who maybe wouldn't have been anybody if they didn't send that message. You know, you send that message, they take you under their wing, they help you close some calls. I do it till this day. Like, I don't ever close calls. Well, we close calls on our own now, but like if I'm working with a big leader, like I'll text the highest up I can, the CEO of the company. I'll be like, dude, I need you to hop on this call and help me out. Even though I know I can do it, like I have the results, but just to like be sure, you know, I'm still always looking up.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. And one thing that I've learned from, you know, networking with high net worth individuals and, you know, just working my way up into like the real estate sphere was, when you are reaching out to somebody that, you know, might be further down the road than you, always lead with value, right? So you're like, what can I offer somebody that's got everything? How about just a compliment? Like, hey man, I really like that white hat, that white Adidas hat's, you know, it sounds corny, but I'm telling you, like, if I DM'd you that right now, you're probably, hey, thanks, man. You're not asking for anything. What rich people hate is when they don't know you from anybody, and then you're just constantly asking them for stuff. And it's got to be a sincere, you know, thing that you're providing value with, or it's got to be a sincere compliment. If you provide sincerity to people, it's reciprocated back. You know, people can smell bullshit, so don't bullshit anybody, but provide sincere compliment, provide sincere, you know, help in any way that you can provide value. And it doesn't have to be monetarily either. It doesn't have to be helping them with their business, right? It could be them, they, you know, posted something about, you know, wanting, you know, a new dog on their social media. And you're like, hey, I know a new dog, this dog breeder over here. You know, they're number one, anything. Like, you always be looking to how you can provide value to others, and it will always be reciprocated back upon you.
Awesome.
Nick, can you talk real quick on a little bit of mentorship? Like, you know, I know you said you did a lot of, you know, self-starting stuff, right? Like you're sitting online YouTube and whatnot. But did you have mentors, and what is the value of a mentor in your eyes?
That's all I am, is a byproduct of good mentors. So like, if I were to go start a completely new business from scratch today, I don't care what industry it's in. I don't care if you threw me out into the wild and said you're going to go sell light bulbs. I'm going to go to the #1 light bulb manufacturing guy in the entire world. I'm going to figure out who that is on LinkedIn. And then somehow I'm going to get in front of him for mentorship. So that's what I did with real estate. Was the reason it took me so long to really get started was because I was trying to do it all on my own. I was piecing everything together from YouTube videos and, like, you know, trying to, you know, do it all, you know, from not having to pay any money. And in my business, you guys are so lucky because you have mentors that are willing to pour into you without paying any money. In my business, I've got to pay tens of thousands, 50,000. I'm in a, you know, $100,000 mentorship right now. So you guys have the, you know, top people in network marketing in the world that are pouring into you, because if you do well, they do well. So you guys have mutually aligned interests. It's not like that in my business. If I'm going to reach out to my competitor and get mentorship, I'm paying, and it's still worth every single penny. I write those big checks. I've spent over 7 figures on my education, from going to masterminds, mentorships, this, that, and the third. And that's why I am to where I am now. So yes, and hindsight, I'm just a byproduct of having good mentors that have poured into me. I'm not, like I said, I'm a high school dropout. I'm just kind of a driven young Northeast guy. And you know, I've been refined through having good people around me.
Thank you, Nick. I have a quick question, because a lot of people ask me, you know, in my business, you know, how do you really deal with consistency? Like some days we don't feel like doing the business. Someday we don't feel like calling or showing our faces on social media, or doing a phone call, or inviting anybody to the opportunity call. Well, you know the drill. I mean, you see everything that I do every single day. But how do you fight that, you know, the limiting beliefs, or like, you know, like yourself against yourself, to become, obviously you need a lot of consistency and discipline to get to where you are right now, but how do you basically how do you fight those demons in order to grow your business and continue doing it on a daily basis?
I mean, I can tell you, I'm probably the laziest one on this entire call. Like, I don't want to do anything. I want to lay in bed and I want to scroll TikTok and I want to hang out with my dogs. And that's pretty much it a lot of days. But the way that I'm able to, get up, make sure I'm eating healthy, I'm, going to the gym, I'm doing all the tasks that I need to do so my business can continue to accelerate is because of this right here. Because I don't want to be a broke loser that doesn't have control of my life. I'm going to make sure that I have control of my life and I can call the shots. And that's just how it's gonna be. And now that I've got here, it's just a muscle. And you're gonna continue. What's the consequence if I don't go to the gym today? Right? I'm going to lose control of my life. Not immediately, but I'm gonna lose control of my fitness and it's just gonna spiral down. So you're either in an upward spiral or a downward spiral. So just know that. And it comes down to you finding your why. Mine is because I want to have control of my life and I want to live on my own, that's, you guys know what it is. So it's really about just coming back to what we did in this exercise. So that's why it's so important. And I swear, nobody goes to bed tonight until you guys finish it.
Unmute yourself, babe.
What about if it's hard that in your household they don't believe in you or motivate you, instead just negatively give you that energy and you feed off of that? How do you fight that?
Yeah, I mean, my mom was the biggest naysayer of me. She wanted me to be a plumber. Yeah, and the fact she was not supportive of me moving to Austin to start. I told her I wanted to have this real estate dream, and my family basically just stopped talking to me because they thought I was just crazy for a while. And I just had to mute them out. And if they're around you, like your family, you can love them, but you love them from afar. They don't understand what you're doing right now. They don't get it. And it's not their job to get it. Their job is to, just be there. And my suggestion is, don't shun your family away, but there's seasons in your life where it's okay that you're not, vibing with them on the same level. Not everybody's cut out to take this journey, right? You're here right now. And just know you're around a bunch of other crazy people that are going to make a lot of money. And so you're in good company. And, now my mom is she's always been there. My mom's my best friend. I talk to her every day and she's my biggest supporter now. But it's funny how that happens, right? So yeah, don't take it personally would be my thing. Most of the time, it's your friends and family. Either it comes from a place of
once they see the results, right?
Exactly. Nobody is going to believe in you until they see some results. It's the sad truth. So,
and then they're going to want some of that.
Exactly. And at that point, it's not however you want to handle it. My family, they ask me all the time, I've had my family work for me and stuff, but I'd try to keep it, keep it separate.
Do you recommend trying to persuade family members to go on this? It doesn't work.
No. You're fighting a losing battle. I mean, they're stuck in their mindset. They want to be on their own path and they've got their own beliefs, especially with network marketing. It's got the biggest connotation. Oh, it's a pyramid scheme and this, that, and they don't understand. Right. And it's not your job to go explain it to them. That energy can be better spent plugging in on some of these calls, getting other people on these calls, working on product knowledge, whatever it takes to get to that next level and get that next rank. So don't do it. It's an energy vampire to try to get your friends and family to, understand what you're doing.
Right.
It's common in all walks of entrepreneurship. You're not the first one, I promise you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Anybody else has questions, guys? Somebody else?
Yeah, Alejandra, let me say something real quick. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Absolutely. I know we've been hearing you for the last year or so, and you're so fire. You're a boss on your own. And now that I get a chance to hear from Nick, listen, you guys are definitely a billion-dollar couple. And I want to say, Nick, thank you for all the powerful information on this call tonight. And I'm sure, Alejandra, you're going to drop that recording in the chat because this was absolutely fire. And it's straight from the heart. You could tell you've been doing this for a long time. So, Nick, congratulations to you. We appreciate the information. And for the last call, the last person that asked that question, listen, I do not take advice from anyone that don't have the lifestyle that I want. So
That's
whether
right.
that's my mom or anybody, you know, so I love my all these people in my life, but I don't take financial advice from them because they don't have the lifestyle that I want to live. All right. So
I love
I will
that.
take I will take relation advice from you. I will take certain type of advice from you, but unless you have the lifestyle that I want, I do not take advice from you. You have a person on the phone right now like Nick, okay, like Alejandra, powerful bosses that's making things happen. I would follow them on Instagram and ask as many questions as they would allow you to ask. But I want to say again, Alejandra, thanks for putting this together. And Nick, absolutely fire job tonight. Looking forward to meeting you in the future.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Let me know if you guys need anything.
Anybody else has questions, guys? I think we can do like maybe the last 5 minutes and close it. We don't want to make the call too long. We respect your time, guys, as well. But maybe we have time for 1 or 2 more questions, and then we're gonna be wrapping up the call. Don't be shy.
Can you zoom into your powerful question so that I can screenshot it?
Read it even if you were all the way zoomed in,
Exactly.
because my handwriting's so
Nobody
bad.
can-
Yeah. No, all you're gonna do is you're just gonna write Y 7 times on a piece of paper, or
I'll take a picture for
Okay.
you guys and
Yeah.
just
Okay.
put it in the chat. Don't worry. I
Thank
can't
you.
even read it. I told Nick I was gonna do it for him, but it's like, it's okay. Don't worry, guys. I'm gonna put it in the chat. Anybody
Thank
else
you.
have questions? Nope. All right, guys. So I think that was a lot of value. Please, everybody drop some 7s in the chat for Nick. Guys, I am fired up. I want to know, I want to hear from you guys in the chat who is ready to launch the business the right way. I want everybody to be dropping this tonight. Also in the chat, we have 2 assignments, the one that Sal sent this morning, and this one, the second assignment. So guys, if you're really serious about taking this to the next level, make sure that you do your homework. Make sure that you listen to people like Nick, like Sal, like Tanner, that have built organizations of a lot of people. So you know what Rudy said is true. Always only listen to the people that have the results that you want, nobody else. And guys, this is definitely a pleasure. Thank you, Nick, for taking your time to do this for the team. And I'm excited to do this again for you guys in the next couple of days, you know, with new speakers, new mentors, and new opportunity calls with different people speaking as well. So guys, let's like blow up this business. Let's launch with everything we got. Let's make sure that we make a lot of noise on social media, talking to everybody. Make sure you keep inviting everybody to the opportunity calls, and I'll see you guys in the chat. Let's go.
Thank you.